300. What's the deal? This your folks, Shaka the Urban Philosopher. Want to share my thoughts with y'all real quick. So, as y'all know, I'm back. It is the weekend recap, and we about to get into it, y'all. We about to get into it. Now, I needed the Nitty Bohemian. I wanted to get her perspective again, so we got her back in. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hey, how's everybody doing? It's the Knitting Bohemian, and thank you for having me on today.
All right, we happy to have you now. I believe that she does got some projects coming up. I think she's gonna do a little something different with her YouTube and uh, go ahead and let them know. You know.
Yeah, so I'd like to cover a lot of information about women's health, things that are happening in culture and beauty. And so, what I plan on doing is kind of combining my blog with YouTube. And so, I'm going to be giving visual articles.
Oh, okay, cool. Sounds interesting. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop the links and stuff below y'all, and so y'all can check her out and follow her page. But yeah, we're gonna get into some things today. Um, before we actually jump into it, y'all, we gonna do a few shout outs and things like that. First off, shout out to everybody who pull up, you know what I'm saying, to follow the page, who's liking the information, uh your sub to the channel. And if you're not sub to the channel, go ahead and hit that sub button, you know what I'm saying? And then that bell, you know. And I just want to say shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate those who come to the table with information. Uh, People who come and send questions, no matter how dumb the question is. You know, go ahead and continue to do that. I don't get many, um, but that is improving. So, I want to hear what y'all think. I want to know what y'all want to know. So that's what's up. Now, um, also, you know what I'm saying, when I do these episodes, I want to go ahead and give, shout out to certain pages and things. Um, these are not people that I've ever talked to or anything like that. I'm not saying that will never be the case, but at this point in time, most likely not. But it's just because I pull up to their page, I might run into their page and I see something interesting. You know what I'm saying? And so, first off, it's this Facebook page called True and Honest Relationships. It's a so-called black couple, and from what I seen, y'all, uh, they got uh, they got some cool concepts. You know what I'm saying? They got some cool ways of how they go about sharing their information on how to, what I'm saying, improve your situation and things like that. Uh, Keep things interesting, et cetera, et cetera. So I would say, what I'm saying, check them out. You know what I'm saying? If you're on Facebook, see what it is. I ain't looked in depth, but from what I seen, they seem pretty cool.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
we
We need more
do.
of that.
We do. We need more solution driven type of uh, uh, efforts. You know what I'm saying? And I think that they should be recognized. So, but the video of the week, we're gonna also speak on that, and we're gonna go ahead and get this to King Sid. This dude, he is a YouTuber. Now, this video was about 10 days ago, but since this is the first one, we're gonna go ahead and give it to him. He has a video called "Last to Get Arrested in an Abandoned Hospital," and it's a good video, y'all. I thought it was good. I thought that it was an actual show in the beginning, but it was very creative, and I definitely think that people should get props. You know what I'm saying, when they are coming with, quality material. So we're gonna go ahead and get it to him. But y'all, let's get into it. Let's get into the talk. Let's go ahead and do this. Now, the first thing we're gonna speak on is the media, because it's a couple of things that I did see in media, and not too much. We're gonna speak on them real quick. And the first thing I want to speak on is this dude Eric Adams. Okay, now this dude Eric Adams, he's the, I think he's the newly elected mayor of New York City. And he's another, so-called black man they don't put up front, the hip guy. He wants his check in crypto, and you know what I'm saying. He's this type of dude. But what I noticed about him, one of his primary agendas is to address this so-called Asian hate crime propaganda going on. And if y'all don't know, and I spoke on this on my last channel, and I've also spoke on this on Clubhouse, but they continue to try to push this propaganda about so-called black people assaulting Asians. And if you have been following me on Clubhouse, or you've been following the channel heavy, you know that I spoke in depth as to why this is the case. You know what I'm saying? But it looks like he wants to get in office and continue to address this so-called issue that's not even an issue. And so I just wanted to call that out, because I hope that we are coming to the grips, or coming to an understanding that the so-called blackface up front has not been a working thing for us. It seems like every time we get these people in office, like everyone, you know what I'm saying? We think that they the great black hypes, what I call them. They get in office, and then it seems like they all have an agenda that has to do with something that's going to set us back, or continue to paint us as the group that's the drag on society or whatever. And so I think that we just need to recognize that, because it's getting old for real. And we just don't pay attention to it. I really don't hear nobody speaking on that. You know what I'm saying, about that guy. But anyway, what were you gonna say? So
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, that's important for us to recognize that, because I call them the safe black person, the black person that they know that they can control, but also that can be influential to, the so-called black population. And so that they're able to, push their agendas. And so, yeah. And I think that ties into your replacement series a lot. That's why I first started understanding that concept from.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, nowadays they see that if it's cool with so-called black people, it's gonna be cool with a lot of the so-called modern generation now. So yeah, I mean, I agree. We gotta start recognizing that game. You know what I'm saying, and understanding our influence. But the next thing is, I did want to speak up on this Will and Jada stuff, because I didn't, just briefly, because I noticed that Will got a book out, just dropped, and Jada's promoting the Matrix, and it's just kind of like, it's the same old suit, what I'm saying, warmed over, what I'm saying, and it just proved that, just like I said, you really never know what's up with these people. You just really never know. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of feel like, I think that it's cool that, even though it was probably an act, which I believe now, um, I think that art imitates life. I think that we were still able to learn something from it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I think they did the same thing with the baby and Danny Lee, right before they were going to push their next endeavors in life. But you're absolutely right, because it seems like right before they do these things, they come to us with a situation, and it's always something to learn. So, yeah, I would have to say I agree with that.
Yeah. So we just gotta watch out for it. I mean, every time, and that's what I was like. It's like they all rituals. All they all rituals. They always gotta do them to get something. That's why I say, look out for people like Nick Cannon and all that. Every time something bad like that happen, they lose a family member or they do something that has to do with shame or something, they always got an album coming out. They always got some projects coming up. Snoop is a good one. Every time he lose somebody, he's always put up front. You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch out for that, in my opinion. But yeah, we just gonna move on from there. I wanted to throw it in real quick, but um,
Yeah.
somebody, I did get an email about the Jake Paul fight just a little bit ago, and I wanted to speak on that real quick because I just been seeing a lot going on. But my opinion on that whole fight is that sports is scripted, man. I mean, 100%. There's no doubt that sports is just scripted, and they are scripted in favor of these other dudes. You know what I'm saying? Who is having a hard time right now? They're just not the most desired men like they were yesterday. As a matter of fact, the only people who are really holding on to that belief is us as the so-called black people. A lot of these other groups, they kind of are coming within themselves in their own groups. I mean, at least where, what I'm saying, I'm from, what I'm saying, and what I've seen, you know, um, when I see these other groups out there, they among themselves. They're not aspiring to be around them no more or believe in this whole hype like that anymore. And so because of that, they're having a hard time. You know what I'm saying? And so they got to promote these dudes heavy. And so this is the reason why you see all of these Jake Paul fights and the Tyson Fury fights and all of them are thrown. And they take advantage of brothers who I believe who are not smart with certain things like their finances and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, like they come to them and tell them, they listen, we'll give you a fight. You know what I'm saying? We'll let you get back in the game and whatever. But you're not leaving with a W out the ring. It's only gonna be in your bank account. That's it. And so these dudes, they down for it and that's what's up. But it's also being scripted just in sports in general, especially the NBA. That's a whole diva show now. The NFL, you know, and so it has to do with a lot of that. They're trying to put these other dudes up front, and they're also trying to let these other groups know who are about to start being more prominent in this country that hey, y'all can be a part of it too. And in order for them to do that, they got to script the whole game. And so that's just what I believe. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? They need that to be happening to do what they do. So, somebody also had asked me about the Pete Davidson thing. You know what I'm saying? This was more or less a conversation in person. It wasn't nothing online or anything like that for the most part. But the whole Pete Davidson thing, you know what I'm saying? Why he's being promoted up front with Kim Kardashian and stuff. People listen, in my opinion, that's all act. You know what I'm saying? So that they can promote these other dudes who struggling. They making it seem like Kim Kardashian like really downgraded to this type of dude. You know what I'm saying? From Kanye, talking about this dude is borrowing her Bentley or whatever to go to 7-Eleven to get cigarettes or whatever. But it's just crazy for real.
Yeah. I mean, I think you talked about this on one of the on the tuna one of the conversations we had in Clubhouse, and they got to, like you said, I agree with that 100%. They got to put this stuff up front, just to put out that propaganda. But like in real life, somebody like Kim Kardashian is not gonna leave somebody like Kanye West for some frail little dude. It just don't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean they doing it heavy. They even had one where I just seen recently where they NBA young boy, like I say, he had to bend over and get down. He his his kid's mother was out with some white dude. You know what I'm saying? And they had that in the news and stuff like that. And I'm like, come on, this is just they just so desperate. But
Nah.
that's just what I believe about a lot of that stuff. I'm not believing uh much of what's going on. With all of that, it's all scripted. But just moving on from that, uh, I wanted to speak on Young Dolph's partner, um, Grove Hero. And the reason why I wanted to do that because I made a video about Fetty Wap, and I was speaking about something that he had hit on, which he had spoke on how there are a lot of these so-called rappers who are getting these contracts and they are taking a lot of the little money, the advance money and stuff that they get, and they go back and they cause terror in the hood. And they're being deputized to pretty much do that. He was speaking on it. He's still speaking on it. I can't find the exact clip where he was pretty much hitting on that right like that. But I just wanted to kind of come back and kind of say something about it. I think somebody. Hold on. All right. I just wanted to come back and say something about it because I pretty much said that in the video. You know what I'm saying? That has a lot to do with what is going on today. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of these dudes who are getting these contracts. A lot of these rappers ain't even talented. You know what I'm saying? And the little money, advance money or whatever that they have, you know what I'm saying? They come to the hood and they continue to they pretty much act out what they really want it to be. You know what I'm saying? And so I believe that. I believe that a lot of the dudes is bankrolling a lot of what goes on. But I also said that, what was that? Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was just gonna say no. That meant you really broke it down in your video about Fetty Wap because that was something I didn't know anything about. But the way that you explained that made this, so clear how they're not hiring for talent. They're just pushing the agendas, and these same dudes that they picked up off the street, they're doing the exact same thing that they're doing. Just they have money.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And, just in general, which also brings me to something else because I wanted to speak on this as well. And just ask the question, what does all the death in hip hop really have to say? You know what I'm saying? At least to the so-called black men, because I was looking at another article where this rapper or whatever, Drakeo was killed Sunday. Now he was supposed to be headlining the Snoop Dogg concert. So, I mean, but he was killed in a fight. You know what I'm saying? I believe outside of the show or something. He was stabbed, and then they had. Now hold on. With that, they say that it was the dude YG. They're saying that it was his crew. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, they're saying that the dude YG, he's a rapper on the West Coast or whatever. They're saying that it was his crew who actually stabbed this guy. You know, but you got also Boosie about 10 days ago. He said that some dudes got into the Phillips Arena with guns at his concert. You know what I'm saying? And Boosie also spoke on how TMZ tried to like blank that part of the story out, like it didn't happen. And you know, I don't know if the so-called black community or so-called black man is noticing or not, but that entertainment game is becoming very grimy when it comes to black men. And I believe that it is by design. You know what I'm saying? This, in my opinion, is a result of what we have allowed to happen in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? See, these people coming in the hip hop to conquer. And you know what I'm saying? They are letting us know, as so-called black men, they letting us know that they want us out. And right now, what you see that's going on with all of these rappers dying, Young Dog, Pop Smoke, Nipsey Hussle, all of these dudes, we just keep on seeing all these dudes. The black man is now a guest in so-called hip hop. Okay? And it's just crazy. But he is. The so-called black man is a guest in hip hop. And even though he's a guest, he's not even all that welcome, as we can see. And you know what's embarrassing about it all is they claim dudes like Jay-Z and Diddy and such dudes are gatekeepers. Yet somehow these other groups of men who come into the game in hip hop, a lot of these so-called wiggers and a lot of these other so-called dudes want to come in. They safer than the brothers. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But it is. It's real. It's real wild.
That's
But I just
wow.
wanted to kind of speak on that here, and you know, we're just gonna go ahead and leave it there for the entertainment. You know what I'm saying? But I did want to go ahead and just hit on those things, y'all. But the next thing we want to get to is the real talk. Okay, we want to get to the real talk, and so the first thing is I'm going to speak on uh basically a question that I have, and but first I'm going to let the Nitty Bohemian go ahead and get her little her question in. Now you had a question about relationship qualifiers or something. Go ahead and let me know what you.
Oh, yeah. So I wanted to ask because we, for the most part, as women, understand that there is an abundance of women to the ratio of men. And I just wanted to know, like, what do we need to expect or maybe change our perspective on when it comes to being in a situation with a man, knowing that what he has to bring to the table is so scarce, but we also want that.
Um. Yeah. Okay. So can you repeat the question? Or can you rephrase the question?
Yeah. So, what can a woman? So, we know that men are looking for us and we're being pursued. But as a woman, knowing that there is an abundance of women that he can choose from, but we know that there's not as many men available. So say for instance, there's 5 men to every 10 women. And so we know obviously men are going to approach women, but we want more than just a date or two. Want more than just a good time. However, we know that like I said, there's just more women available than there is men. And so what would your recommendation be for women looking for something more out of a situation?
Well, here's the thing. It sounds like to me what you're saying is, does qualifiers for a man change? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to women and the way that they kind of like deal with the man, because what men want out of a woman is abundant, and what women want out of the man is scarce. So
Exactly. You translated that perfect.
so hold
Yes.
on. So are you saying like um because of this, are you saying that do I believe women should be more accepting of things like polygamous relationships?
Yes. Yeah, because I mean, obviously there's not going to be enough men to go around for women. And so, what should we be looking at and looking for in a situation? Yeah. Polygamy being one of them because like I said, there's more women than there are men.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is with me, I can't really tell women, you know what I'm saying, what they should really accept. Okay. But I will say this, though. I will say this. I believe that the right kind of man can make that work. Okay. If it's for the right reasons. So, what I will say is, uh, I 100% encourage any man who is capable of being the man for a polygamous relationship to most definitely practice that. You know what I'm saying? Because the truth of the matter is, the warrior class is scarce. And even, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, when we talk about antiquity, that's culturally what we were about anyway. You know what I'm saying? And so it's always been like that. Like today, we are here today because of the strongest genes. And when you go back to the times of antiquity, a lot of men, they were not uh, fathers of children. You know, that's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? It was always the top dudes that were winning with the majority of the women. And so um, I would say that. I think that it would be up to women to kind of have that discussion on if women should be more accepting to polygamous relationships. But it's definitely not off the table. I would say that. You know, I'm not going to sit up here and say I seen that there was some. There are a few guys that are around the internet saying that it's not a good thing because it's for sex. Because a lot of those dudes, they think like low tier men. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand that there are a lot of these situations that have a community aspect to it first. You know what I'm saying? And it means something, and they do work. So for the right type of situation, though, because it's not for everybody. So, but yeah,
Well, that's important for us to have, like you said, that communication, and know what's real, what's realistic, and the fact that you're not saying, yes, we do have to do this, or no, we don't have to do it, but knowing up front, we have a situation, um, and these are some of the options that we are faced with, and so it's up to us to choose what works best for us. So I can
yeah.
dig it.
Yeah, and I think that just regardless, I think that we definitely have to think community first. Community partnership, uh, things like that first. That's one thing I can
Absolutely.
say, for real. And because I say that, that means that, I wouldn't say that neither type of relationship should be taken off the table. Both of them should be done, you know, the right situation, the right time, the right mind. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's what I would say about that. The next thing is, I wanted to speak on this whole thing real quick about black men uh, marrying so-called white women and it being like this uproar about like money being transferred out of the so-called black community and stuff like that. I wanted to speak on that real quick and just say that why do we waste our time on those type of topics? Um, I was on a clubhouse and they were pretty much speaking about this. And one woman had made the statement saying that I think she said that there's only like 10 black billionaires or something like that in America or in the world or something like that. And she was like, all of them are with so called white women, and except for Jay-Z and Beyonce. And so she pretty much tried to make it seem as if because Jay-Z and Beyonce are so called black and they are together, their wealth and money is tied in the so-called black community, and that's not true. You know what I'm saying? All right, it's not true. Jay-Z and Beyonce, they are definitely sold out. They're very rich. You know what I'm saying? They winning. You know what I'm saying? But they work for people still. Okay, and they always got to do that. Okay, so-called black entertainers, they always got to end up giving up their intellectual property and stuff like that, because that's why, in my opinion, why this whole talk about Diddy having to give up Revolt. And so, I mean, I just don't want to go there. That's a whole other topic, but I just say this to say, like, again, this whole color thing, you know what I'm saying? We keep trying to make it seem as if uh, because so-called black folks are together, it means something somewhere else, and it don't. You know what I'm saying? So-called black men being married to uh, white women or whatever in entertainment never matters, because once they over there on that side, they on that side. It don't mean nothing for our community. And that's the whole point that I'm trying to make about things like that. And then just so-called black men on a pedestrian level, we don't control any wealth or anything like that. I mean, Dr. Clyde Anderson is still on point. I think we controlling like less than 1% of the wealth out here. It might be a little higher now. But the average so-called black man that's marrying a so-called white woman, he's an average guy, okay? And I just think that it's a conversation that we just shouldn't be entertaining, because all it does is kind of like have us like sitting around arguing and stuff. But I don't know what you think about it.
No, I think you're right on point. Because I mean, you talk about it all the time with hip hop. Hip hop is not controlled by us, and so because of that, we don't have any industries that we can look at and say that predominantly so-called black people own it. So you are right. Our money is not going into our communities, either way it goes. And so, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I just think that that's a topic that just really need to die. It's I don't know, but
Pointless. It's a pointless, yeah.
yeah. But that's it for the real talk. But the next thing, y'all, is the number one thing. Best for last. But we're gonna speak on this social media. We're gonna speak on what's going on in this social media, y'all. So let's get into it. Now, somebody asks, you know what I'm saying, why the lack of creative material. Okay, now I just wanted to speak on that. I think that it has something to do with kind of like the followers as well. I think that it has a lot to do with the viewers. The viewers they like what they like. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people who might want something different, I think that they might have that complaint when it comes to the content and stuff out there. But I think that this is kind of like it is. Like, there are some people that be in some of these comment sections like, hey, listen, I'm gonna show up, whether no matter what. If you make videos, I'm gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? And so, they give them what they want, And so I think that a lot of content creators I see, they always ask, what do y'all want to see? And of course, I will believe that if some people just say something that they already did, or, maybe it's just something that they probably not going to really get into or something like that, they ain't going to do it. But I just think that that's what that is. So I just wanted to move on from that. But next thing is, let's talk about Nique. Let me get that right, y'all. Nique, because I always say the other way around, Nique. But what's up with Nique, Native Bohemian? You had something to say about what's going on with her?
Yeah, I watched her video. She dropped 2 today. And she was just sharing her Christmas presents with us. And one of her Christmas presents she got was a gun. And you know what? You talked about this in 2 of your videos about, women being protected, especially with, assault and violence going up. And I actually have a YouTube video about safety and things that you may need to protect yourself. I do think that obviously you want to know how to use your devices that you're using. So, I think you probably need to know how to work the gun. But I think, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, she was hype. You know what I'm saying? I hope she don't get like that Simpkins brother that I saw. You know what I'm saying? But I think that it is. I've said this before. Women these days, they do gotta have protection out here. You know what I'm saying? And an understanding of how to act in certain situations, because it's turning up. I mean, when you look at the Ray J black dude who just did what he did, and just the thing that I
Oh,
reported
yeah.
on with the dude coming up to the woman's apartment. I mean, and then it might not be really nothing, but then she obviously got dudes out here, still obviously they have not been able to find any closure about past situations and stuff, some people out here. So these days I believe that women do need to stay protected, have some type of protection out there. And so yeah, I don't knock it, as long as, like you say, she know what she doing or whatever. So I think that was a good look. I mean,
I was gonna say I didn't know. I don't know. Dwayne didn't have too much to say about it in the video, so maybe it'll help her figure out how to work it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, serious gifts. But yeah, speaking on him, they had him. They were kind of talking about him. Now I made a short about this, but they were kind of talking about him on the Tea Room. And well, no, I seen this on the Tea Room. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to say shout out to that channel, the Tea Room, because she be bringing it. Now she will report certain stories, and if it's a lesson or something that we can see in it, and I catch some of her stories, then I will speak behind some of the stuff that she reports. So, like I told y'all before, she's good at what she do. You know what I'm saying? Check her out. But, it was a lot of people talking about him speaking up towards some other dude who was trying to speak on his past relationship with him and Nique, let me get that right. And they really wanted him to respond, and I just wanted to say I think that it was a cool thing that he did not respond. Like I said in that short, that's not what so-called grown men do. You know what I'm saying? He's dealing with her. You know what I'm saying? He don't have to worry about some other dude that's somewhere outside looking in and, doing all this and that. That's, if we reacted to those type of things, the relationship would always be, in turmoil, because you would allow people to always influence what's going on the inside. And so I just think that it was a cool thing. I think that it's a cool thing that he's handling it that way. So, but I don't know. Would you want a dude that you talking to go back and forth with your ex, you know what I'm saying, because he's talking or whatever? You would?
Yeah, that is no, I was saying I was saying no, I was just saying, no, I agree with you with that. Nobody would want that. And especially that they're on a public platform, because people twist and bend things, but they can't, make a narrative that you don't give them. So I think he did the smart thing, That's pretty cool. That's what's up.
Yeah, real talk. You know what I'm saying? And so, shout out to him. And Nique, shout out to them. But let's get on to this counterfeit personalities thing. I wanted to go back and speak back on that. Because to be real with y'all, I'd actually let somebody see this, and I wanted to just speak on it just real quick to give an understanding as to why I did it, because some people could look at it two different ways, like counterfeit, what, you know what I'm saying? So first off, I want to say this, y'all, a big part, you know what I'm saying, of the benchmark of this channel about how I go about things is basically like, it's like what I read in the Psychology Today article. I read this a while ago, but I believe that successful resolution comes by way of finding the right balance, okay, of assimilation and accommodation, okay. And so we have to aim to understand, what I'm saying, why and what it means for both sides, you know what I'm saying. And with this in our culture, you know what I'm saying, just speaking on the counterfeit personalities, I believe that the woman is pretty much going to respond to the environment that she is in, okay. And being that she lives in a world that is oftentimes telling her that she can't respond being the woman that she's supposed to be, because she's not going to get what she feels is going to make her safe, you know what I'm saying, or she's gonna be taken advantage of and things like that, she responds with something else, okay, to fill that void. You know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of like what I believe. You know what I'm saying? And we believe that within our culture. And there's certain things that a man can do. Like I tell y'all, this channel, it ties in, but it's like a two key authenticator. If you want to be a man and increase your chances of getting past all of that, then you got to present the type of situation that doesn't put her in a position to react to what she typically sees and deals with. So, I mean, does that make sense, Nitty Mohimian? Let me know.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I like your analogy there with the two key authenticator, because with the counterfeit personality, a lot of times, just like you said, the society that we live in today is telling us that we have to be one way, but like the person that we're actually are on the inside, we can't leave it vulnerable. It's like a turtle. The reason why a turtle has a shell, because the inside of a turtle is very soft and very, very fragile. So it has that hard shell, which is like our counterfeit personality, to filter out all this bad stuff. And so, with most women, they put that up front for men, to kind of see what they're dealing with. But, it's to protect the actual person that we are. And so the person that we really are, not everybody has access to that. So yeah, what you're saying makes absolute sense.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like, if you're not the right type of dude, the woman is never gonna bring that down. You know what I'm saying? That's the point that I was trying to make. And when you get into this so-called game where you're trying to take the approach of telling her that she should let it down or whatever because you're a high value man or whatever, that just only make her reinforce it. And so that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, can it still happen if you do it the other way? Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But the chances of you being successful is a lot greater when you do it the right way. Another thing that we believe in our culture, you know what I'm saying? If you continue to do things the right way, right things are gonna happen. I mean, that's just simple. You know what I'm saying? And so, but let's get to that. Let's get to Kevin Samuels, okay? Because he had an interview. You know what I'm saying? And I did get some, inquiries about it. If people wanted me to speak on it or whatever, I was gonna make a video, but I was like, nah, I'm just gonna put it in here. And he had some women in the condo. Okay, he had some nice looking women in the condo. One on the end looked nice. And he kind of had some words for them. But before I'm gonna say what I have to say about it, what I seen in the conclusion. But Nitty Bohemian, let me know.
Yeah, so what I saw happen in that video, it was kind of irritating because, like you said, this woman was a young, attractive woman. And she was just explaining that she has men that approach her all the time. And, just kind of back to that counterfeit personality thing, she wants, she's not trying to let her guard down for just anybody. So as she was explaining this to Kevin Samuels, he kind of goes off left and she's going right. And he like misses her whole point and says that, the solution to her problem is she has to pursue men and she has to do it more aggressively. So I'm just like,
But then he'll
okay,
say it's crazy because he say he want women should be feminine and all that. But go ahead.
exactly. Yeah, he'll say that on that end. And she's just like, um, yeah, I'm not into playing games pretty much is how I translated it into. But, if a man pursues me, I'm going to pursue him back. We don't have a problem there. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a situation that fits for me, trying to get his advice on that. And so, yeah, it was just like, okay, um, my understanding from a woman's point of view is, I'm an attractive young woman. I'm looking for a top tier man. How do I do that? Because it's not that I can't get dates. I get those all the time, but I want a long-term situation.
Yeah, I mean, basically what he did, you know what I'm saying, it was all for show. You know what I'm saying, in my opinion, because he pretty much had them on there, and he tried to use the same formula with them, and it just really didn't work. You know what I'm saying? And one of the main reasons why that was a big L for him, in my opinion, is because, I mean, even though he was up there, he was looking, upbeat and and all this and that, had the computers everywhere and all that. He was, but when you take all that down, he was pretty much using the same formula that he would use with a lot of these other women that he would have on there. That is definitely not the representation of the options, which is the majority of the women that he have on there. And it's this whole idea that you need to understand that these are hard times for women because, you know uh the men are rare, and you need to get your act right because of that. The major problem with them women that he was talking to especially is that they are in their prime. They are still sexually attractive, and men are still pursuing them. And when that is going on in a woman's life, they don't think like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I need to recognize that there's only a few good men out here that are pursuing me like this. You know what I'm saying? That's not that. It just doesn't make sense like that. Women don't think like that when they're in their sexual prime, in my opinion. But I don't know. You let me know.
Oh no, I think you're absolutely right. I think that when you see all these men that are approaching you, when you're young and you're attractive, you're not thinking that, as you get older, that's going to change and less men are going to approach you. So you think that, because even though she said in the video, she's just like, there's only a select few men. She doesn't really believe that. A lot of us don't. We don't get faced with that reality until later on. So yeah, I agree with that.
Hold on. You said what? She said.
She said that she understands that there's a few men, but she has men approaching her all the time, so she doesn't understand the scarcity until her looks aren't the only driving force in things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it was just another out of touch type of thing. You know what I'm saying? That he was doing now. Ideally, like you just said, if they're coming on there for answers, that's a different situation. But that wasn't really what was going on. It was pretty much him trying to drill them on. Excuse me. Basically, they just need to be more aggressive and more aware of the fact that men are not available out here like that. And next winter is coming up, because he said winter is coming this time, but he said next winter, he gonna say next winter is coming up. But yeah, that's what I think about it, man. I mean, it, like I said on my last channel, what you see is what you get with him. you know and if you, like I tell
Yeah.
you before, like I said before, if you wait, if you go off what he has to say, then you're going to be waiting for women like the women that he had on that show to eventually realize that you know, all the men don't want them like that, and they need to get with a good high value man. You know, um, if you're gonna sit back and wait for women to realize that, man, okay, you'll be a fan for Kevin Samuels. You'll have a lot of time to watch Kevin Samuels for a very long time. I'll just say that, real talk. And I'll just move on from that. Now, the last thing, finale, De'Ara Taylor and the questions. Let's talk about that. And Nitty Bohemian, let me know what you thought about it.
Oh yeah, she was asked if she had an accent. Honestly, I have to say she answered a lot of good questions. But the one that really stood out and caught my attention is she was asked if the reason why her and Ken broke up was due to his cheating, and she came out straightforward and was just like, "No, he had cheated several times, and I took him back. That wasn't the reason." And so, I got curious as to you know, what was the reason? And I looked at an article, and it says that when De'Ara and Ken first met, De'Ara already had a big Instagram following. And Ken wasn't really into the whole social media thing. And so it took a lot of her persuading him and encouraging him to do, social media. And so when I look back at some of the videos and things like that, we're trying to figure out the awkwardness and things like that. We can see now. And then, in my opinion, just like you had said, I agree with it 100%. In the case of DK4L, it explains the cheating. Him, acting out in a way, because that's not what he wanted to do. And so, I thought that was, pretty cool, looking at the series. And I think it confirmed what you were saying before she came out and she said it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I got it in the title. I believe that they did not, break up, due to the cheating. You know what I'm saying? When you just looked at it and how things played out, and then like what you say when you said, I mean, what you just said as far as what you found out. I mean, it kind of ties into why, a lot of the stuff that I was reporting may have been going on. Like, kind of like being a little more careless about what was going on publicly and things like that, And so I just thought that it was cool that she had spoke on that. Real talk. I also like the fact that she had spoke on how some people were saying that she was living a certain lifestyle, or whatever. But I did say that I did not believe that that person was like her serious situation. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't see it happening like that. I knew that there were some people out there like, oh, now she's getting a new one and stuff like that, but she did confirm that as well. And I just think that what I would want is that folks are more invested in the fact that what I was trying to speak on was a lot of the signs that we could look for. You know what I'm saying? That might lead up to those type of things. You know what I'm saying? In those type of situations. And so, yeah, I mean, I just think that it was cool that she kind of spoke on those things, and brought on some clarification. And I think that she's at, however many likes, I believe she's going to get the 120K so that she can do this next video or whatever. But, yeah. She definitely asked a good question, and she
Yeah.
also asked. There was some people that saying that also as well. that they believe that she possibly is with, someone else. Okay. And
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't.
excited for that. Oh, I'm
No, go
sorry.
ahead.
Yeah, because she said, she drunk on that one. When they asked was she was somebody else, she didn't reveal that. So, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I mean that's what's up. I'm glad that she's able to get up there and speak on it. She said she happy. So that's what's up. But that concludes the show, y'all. That concludes the show. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. Um, I appreciate y'all pulling up. Go ahead and hit that sub button and that bell. You know what I'm saying? Let us know what y'all think. And then go ahead and put that thumb to work and hit that like button. All right, let's get this influence up. Let us know what y'all think of the episode today. But go ahead, Nitty Bohemian. You got anything to say?
Well, thank you for having me on today, and I enjoyed the conversation.
All right. This is your folk, Shaka, the Philosopher.